What the fuck are you doing, NJ? Well, welcome back, YouTubers, to another Q&A with me, Mr. Parkin, and this guy sitting next to me, he's bobbling around like some kind of loose rabbit or something. I don't really know what to say. It's none other than NJ.
What's up?
And even though you're bobbling your head around, you'll probably be a bit dizzy. I'm pretty sure you can aim right for this one. We're the British Fist.
Good, Jim.
And welcome back to another Q&A, like I've said, Q&A number 42. Make sure you guys subscribe up above, like this video and comment your thoughts on any of the questions or answers we've given down in that comment section below.
And make sure you contact us in the link in the box below.
I was going to say, 10 away from 52 now. That'll be a year's long.
Oh, very good indeed.
It's almost like the year anniversary again, isn't it? You can relive that. Fucking hell, I'd love to relive that. So keep sending us in your questions so we can get to that number 52, that very special number 52. Keep giving us your questions, and if your questions haven't been answered in this, I know I say this all the time, you're probably going to say, damn, why'd you keep repeating yourself, same old shit, but please be patient, we will answer your questions as soon as we can. We have a lot to get through, so let's get started nice and quick. The first question comes from Gexplan. The first couple of questions, I should say, 4 questions here. What are your thoughts on the Boogeyman character? Very unique. It was a very unique character, wasn't it?
He was. Yes, he had the change, but it was on an ECW character eventually, and he was something different, but the fact they tried to push him a bit, like him against Booker T and all that, was a bit too much. He was more of a comedy character there, but he was something unique.
I think my issue with him was he was a very unique character, but there was only so much you could do with him. I mean, you could draw comparisons between him and Goldust, but there was so much you could do with the Goldust character from a creative standpoint. The same with this one, but you had to be very picky with what you did with him. A good character, but like a couple of characters, there's only so much you can do with them, and WWE just either ran out of things to do with them or just couldn't think of any creative things to do with the guy.
That's true, indeed.
If WWE were to bring back legends as managers, what legends would you bring back, and who would you have them manage? Number 1, I'd have Dusty. Even though I know Cody Rhodes doesn't need a manager, it would be nice to see his dad accompanying him to the ring. Would you not say?
Very true. I did point out that that would have been a good person to bring back for the Dustin and Cody Rhodes feud that could have been at WrestleMania, but that's changed now. My other choice would be the fact that he keeps making appearances back in the build-up. It would be Mick Foley somehow, get him involved in this, maybe as a manager for someone.
Santino Marella. That would be an awesome tag team, like Rock and Sock connection. Santino and Mick Foley connection. What about someone like Rikishi coming back and managing his 2 twin boys? That'd be a simple manager appointment, wouldn't it? Would you not think?
Very true. That is another one. Another one that he keeps making appearances, but I don't know how he would fit in anymore, is Bret Hart. But we've had David go, Natalia's still around, and so is Ty's kid, so maybe something could fit there.
Well, imagine this. Tamina has got a dad, Jimmy Snuka. Of course, bring him to ringside if you could use him. I mean, WWE use him as a little method to get Tamina's name out there, but if he came down to the ring with Tamina, that would be pretty good. And Bret Hart come down to the ring with Natalia, that would make that match seem a little bit more important, wouldn't it?
It would. That would be awesome because we've got 2 big legends there, adding something to the Divas match.
To the Divas match, of all things. Where do you see WWE and TNA in the next 5 years, and do you ever think you will see TNA as being as big as WWE? Based on what we've got at the moment and the creative changes that TNA are making, which are doing quite well, I can see TNA, even though the ratings, like we discussed before this video, you said the ratings were kind of low, but they probably will get higher with more consistency. The solution isn't always short term. In the next 5 years, I feel TNA could be a bit closer to WWE, not up there with them, but possibly a bit closer.
Well, I'm going to say this: people who like WWE do got to realise that it is gone downhill over the years. So maybe that's going to give TNA a chance to rise up and have competition with WWE. But maybe not the same level, but there's going to be dramatic changes within the 5 years for both companies.
I'd love to see TNA provide legitimate competition to WWE. I think that would really make the company, I think that would really make the business a lot better.
Give Vince a slap in the face.
Like it did with WCW and WWE, or WWF at the time in the Monday Night Wars. Do you ever see Vince McMahon buying TNA? Not because he doesn't feel their competition, but because of the strength of their roster, because WWE does not have that strong of a roster. He says thanks for answering the question. I mean, let's face it, TNA's roster is pretty strong. I would say stronger than WWE's, in my opinion, as a more well-rounded, different variation character roster. I do think, though, if Vince McMahon wanted to raid TNA, he wouldn't just buy the company. He'd probably just pluck the talent out if he could.
Because when it looks at TNA, you do see they are treating XW wrestlers and knockouts divas in a better way. So I think the way Vince would do it, yes, if TNA ever did come to competition, maybe he would want to destroy it. But
ECW, WCW.
I see him trying to steal talent. when there's competition rising, he'll probably take up the best wrestlers, join it to his, and make his company even bigger than what it is.
Yeah, I mean, there are guys in TNA, like Bobby Roode, James Storm, Austin Aries, that I think could probably do. AJ Styles, another one of those guys, could be, pretty good in WWE. Samoa Joe would be another good one as well. We'll move on to Mr. Griffith's questions. He asked us 2 questions. Another YouTuber you guys should check out, Mr. Griffin. Oh, I love that guy. What do you think of John Cena's more aggressive attitude? I personally like it because it's more realistic. I can side with him on that one.
One thing about Cena, as much as I think he's a complete jackass, I'm going to say this: he is bringing something to his promos, but he's going to have to, because obviously he's going to get to the Rock, so he's got to become more serious, more aggressive towards the Rock. But if they somehow keep going after WrestleMania, I'm going to say people could see Cena differently. Yeah,
I mean, he does need that kind of change of character, doesn't he? I mean, when he was feuding with Kane, we kind of saw a more aggressive style from Cena. Not enough, in my opinion. I mean, we know he's probably not going to turn heel. God, if he does, I'm going to really eat my words on that one. But, I mean, I like it. It's definitely a lot more realistic, and a lot more people can buy into it because it's more realistic, rather than the same old Super Cena bullshit that we consistently see from him. Even though some may argue, we still saw it in his match against Kane at the Elimination Chamber.
Eventually, when Cena has feuds, it's going to evolve around him by the end. But during the build, Cena is bringing something different, and let's just see if it lasts.
Question number 2. 2 matches that I always wanted to see that we never got to really see were Shawn Michaels and Eddie Guerrero, which I think he pointed out in a past Q&A, which was rumoured to take place at WrestleMania 22, but Eddie's death prevented that. And The Undertaker versus Chris Benoit. What are your thoughts on these bouts if they would have happened? Benoit and Undertaker would have been a nice match to have, but I think Shawn versus Eddie would have been better, in my opinion.
The way Shawn Michaels performs, not taking away from Take, but Shawn Michaels does bring the best out of people and does put people over. So I think Shawn Michaels putting Eddie Guerrero over in that match would have been a big draw and done great for Eddie Guerrero. Compared to Take and Benoit, it would have been a match, but I just don't think it would have been strong enough compared to Eddie Guerrero and Shawn Michaels.
Yeah, I mean, they're both very strong matches. We just feel that the combination of Michaels and Guerrero and the way they work would be a better match. But Undertaker and Benoit would have still been a good match. Probably not maybe a WrestleMania match in my opinion, but still would have been a good match. I'll just say that. Terry the Titan. Who do you want to be GM of both Raw and SmackDown? I think it's funny, we have different opinions on Team Rock and Cena. I think we have different opinions on this, don't we? You give them yours first.
Oh yeah! I'm going to make a tag match! This SmackDown! And the SmackDown now! And
the
Raw! Oh yeah!
I mean, so you're on Teddy Long. I mean, I personally, because I'm so fed up of seeing Teddy Long as a face GM that really isn't that entertaining in my opinion. I would like to see John Laurinaitis. I hated the guy at first. Do you know how much I hated the guy at first? But the guy lately has been actually very entertaining when put with the right people. So I would like to see John Laurinaitis more than Freeman. No, not really. More than Teddy Long as the Raw GM and Raw and SmackDown.
I will defend Laurinaitis over Teddy Long because Teddy Long has been there the longest. He's been involved in firing storylines. And he has been failing in some areas, so having someone new to take over would be interesting. But in my opinion, Laurinaitis is not liked by many people, so what is that going to do for the future of the shows?
True, you can argue that he does get heat, but is it legitimate heat or is it get the fuck off our TV X-Pac heat? Who really knows? I'd like to see it. You'd like to see Teddy Long. Just really about personal preference, really. Who do you prefer? Let us know in the comment section. Which team are you on? Especially going to WrestleMania when they're most likely going to have a match.
Oh, yeah.
How do you feel about YouTube forcing to have a new channel design on March the 7th? Well, the time that we're recording this the new channel design has come in, and by the time this is uploaded, of course, the new channel design will be in. We changed our channel a couple of days before so we could accommodate. I mean, we did it with our personal channels as well. I must admit, I didn't like it at first, but after experiencing it a bit more, I don't mind it that much. I mean, it's a bit of a change. Stuff's changed around, and it might not be as good as the channel, but I think after a while, we'll just get used to it, like we did with the previous channel design.
Well, the fact we can't really do anything about it doesn't give us the option eventually to switch back to the old one. They're going to contract on this. We have to get used to it, but at the same time, there's still aspects of the new one that is like, oh, they can make it a bit more harder to do this, harder to do that. The layout's a bit more different. So in my opinion, I'm two-sided, but the old one worked perfectly. Why change it?
Exactly what I was just about to say. You know, why change something that ain't broke? I'm just saying that's just how I think about it. Wow, how the fuck? Oh yeah, I can announce this. Don't worry. 2G, just a bit 2G. That's looked like a very complicated name, but I managed to wheel my brain around that one. That's a very good question as well. How would you book Austin Aries into the main event scene in TNA? I think personally, he needs to be like, he already is at the moment, but he needs to be that real top guy in the X Division. Maybe have him feud with a guy like AJ Styles or something. Just a top feud for him to maybe either lose or win the title and really give him, that step up. And if he loses or wins, he can still step into the main event scene. I do feel it will have to happen in the next couple of years.
Well, the way I see him, they are booking him as a really strong heel, and he's actually working out perfectly in TNA. So if they just keep working on that, just like they're doing in Cody Rhodes and SmackDown, they could keep building him up to a higher pace where we think, gosh, this guy's so ready. Look at him, he's done this, done that, going for a title. And I'm thinking someone that has been an ex-champion would be a big stepping stone for him.
Yeah, I mean, I would like to see him in the main event scene. I do think TNA could... I mean, TNA have been booking him very strongly, but they've been booking him in a division which, compared to the level that Austin Aries is at, everyone else just seems a little bit below, apart from maybe an Alex Shelley. So I do think they could book him into the main event scene. It wouldn't... I mean, I think he deserves it. I mean, we saw on a recent Impact that him in the main event was a pretty good match. I'd like to see it. I think if we scroll quickly back up, NJ, I missed a question from Terry the Titan, and I do apologise for this. Would you stop watching WWE if it went TVG or TVY7, as in like pretty much kids' TV?
I think the WWE are going to try and progress towards allowing non-PG things in their company, so I don't think they'll go back. If it did happen, I'll still give it the chance, but I still wouldn't like it that much. I
mean, we'd definitely give it a chance, but it would be very hard, especially seeing as we're adults and they're trying to appeal to kids. At the moment, they're doing it enough, and we're still trying to embrace the product. And at some points, it does get very hard, especially for myself. But if they did go to that... Oh, for God's sake, NJ, with the Cobra again. We're not even talking about Santino, and you're still bringing in the Cobra. What the hell? We'll just move on. Thanks for disrupting my train of thought there, NJ. Saints are... Or the Cobra, whoever you want to blame. It's your Cobra. Saints RLFC 95. Apart from WrestleMania, which Piggy were you most looking forward to in 2012? We always look forward to SummerSlam, don't we?
We do indeed.
It's our favourite pay-per-view. We've got all the SummerSlams from 98 to 2009, and we just generally enjoy the feel of the SummerSlam pay-per-view, and we just generally love the SummerSlam pay-per-view. I mean, that's probably the second best one behind WrestleMania.
The other one would be Royal Rumble, because that's obviously going to give us the main event for WrestleMania.
But the next one's going to be in 2013, isn't it? Yeah. But we do look forward to Royal Rumble a lot, I'll give you that. Any B pay-per-views?
Backlash used to be interesting because it was the follow-on from
Extreme Rules,
but now it's changed to Extreme Rules. So, but mainly it's those ones we've named just.
Yeah, indeed. 00 Loopy Pockets 00. We recently answered the question from this YouTuber. We've got another one. Michael McGillicutty and David Otunga's future in the WWE? Otunga has got that lawyer gimmick, so I expect him to stick around for a bit longer, especially if John Laurinaitis is going to be, drinking from his teacup. What about Michael McGillicutty? I think that is the least 100% one we're on at the moment. Give McGillicutty. Where do you...
Well, he's got a family member that he should have been working from.
Yes, his father, Kurt Hennig. Yes.
We've seen the past, like Tyson Kidd and Tamina. We've seen them get involved because of their family stuff.
Mm-hmm. Awesome.
So Mike McGillicutty, at the moment, there could be a chance that he could bring back, but at the moment, it doesn't look like the WWE really need him because he's failed recently. So. Just, I don't know. I
think, in my opinion, unless they change his name to Joe Hennig and appreciate the fact that he is the son of the Mr. Perfect Kurt Hennig, then it's not going to go that far. They need to really get on the ball with this guy a little bit more. Extreme Rockamaniac. Oh, I love that name because I'm a metalhead. Who would you like to beat the shit out of if you could in the YWC? Well, we don't have that much beef with anyone, do we? We're not about the drama. Or do we? Is there any one person you might want to beat the shit out of?
I don't really watch his videos anymore, but if you're watching... You know who you are? Shawn View.
Shawn's View Entertainment is, yes. I mean, no disrespect to Shawn's View. The guy has a lot of subscribers and he does do videos quite often. He has a lot of fans, but I really can't stand his videos and the way he portrays himself. Just, that makes me want to beat the shit out of him because he sounds like an arrogant guy and, whatever. But if you're watching this... Well, I was going to say sorry, but no, not really. Let's move on. No hate intended. Embrace the hate. Superfan931. 3 questions from Superfan931. It's funny you've got 3 in the name. 3 questions. Do you agree Usos are the most underrated tag team in WWE at the moment?
Tag team in the WWE.
How many of them are there? Tag team. Who do we have to compare them to, in terms of underrated?
But I will say this. Uso has, again, a family thing behind them. So they maybe should be tracked better. But the WWE don't really have tag teams that can be in competition with them. So it's hard to really... give a strong answer for them.
Do you really remember the last time they got a legit tag title shot? I think in terms of that, they're probably underrated. When was the last time they had a title shot?
Sadly not. They paired up 2 odd wrestlers together to make them work, and they've just been left out.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you have a very generic tag team in Usos, and what have they got to go against? Epico and Primo. They had Air Boom, maybe, but they were face. So, there we go. Number 2. If WWE gave the Funkasaurus Brodus Clay a tag team partner, who would it be? They said they would pick Showtime Percy Watson because of his over-the-top character and great charisma. I don't see, as much as I enjoy that, as much as I think I would enjoy that tag team, I don't see Funkasaurus being part of a tag team, mainly because it seems to me that if Vince wants to actually portray this guy as some kind of legit guy, that he'd have to do it on his own, because that's the only way he'd stand out.
Well, if they're building him up first, if they eventually need to give him a tag team partner, if this guy's doing nothing, I'll bring back Rikishi!
Oh my god, that would be awesome. Or have the Funkasaurus with the Usos or something. A new Too Cool.
There we go.
Just the Usos can dance, and so can the Funkasaurus. Why not put them together in a little sort of Too Cool? Yeah, exactly. That'd be a very contrasting style of dance, but there we go. Number 3. If Miz turns face in the future, do you see WWE reforming the Awesome Truth? No. First of all, I don't think Miz is turning face. I don't see why they would turn Miz face. He's one of the most natural. He's one of the best natural heroes in WWE, in my opinion. But I don't see them reforming that, especially after the first time they did it, and they just broke it up.
As much as Awesome Truth were a great tag team, they should have been pushed towards the tag titles. Yes. I really believe that the fact they had a possible feud afterwards, and they never finished that off, really, I don't think they're going to, for somebody to put them back together again, no.
No, I mean, it's a foregone conclusion, in my opinion. Mighty Mitch 93. I wonder how old this guy is. Born in 93?
93.
Yeah, makes him about 19, doesn't it? What's your most favourite WrestleMania moment? Very good question, getting this close to WrestleMania now. We've done a WrestleMania review series. You may have seen it on here. We've watched a lot of WrestleMania moments. And just sum up your favourite. Maybe give me a couple, but give your favourite.
Okay, there's quite a few. Again, I'm going to go with the obvious ones. Triple H versus Taker number 1. Kane versus Taker number 1.
Yes.
Then we go on to the later ones. Rock and Austin. Great match down at WrestleMania. Ric Flair and Shawn Michaels. They're the ones that stand out to me.
I think in terms of a moment, the moments that I look for are the genuine emotional moments like Benoit and Eddie Guerrero. I always thought that was a great moment. And you mentioned Shawn Michaels and Ric Flair. That was a genuine emotional moment.
Shawn Michaels and Jericho.
Shawn Michaels and at 19, that was a very good match. I wouldn't say it was a moment. It was a great match, but it wasn't necessarily a moment in my opinion. But still a great match. I would give you that one. WrestleMania 3, Andre being slammed by Hulk. That would always be not necessarily my favourite, but the biggest impactful moment in WrestleMania history in terms of what it did for the business afterwards. Just putting it out there.
Yeah, I agree with that one because that one stood out and went on to being an iconic moment for WrestleMania.
It'll be remembered forevermore, kind of similar to the moments we mentioned. So yeah, that's our favourite. Those are our favourite WrestleMania moments. Make sure you give us yours as well. We want to hear yours, and we want you to contribute to this Q&A. So that has been it from another Q&A with us, the British Fist.
Ka-ching.
Well aimed and shot there, NJ. Now keep sending us in your questions, of course, so we can get to that magical number 52 Q&A. And I believe this is the last Q&A before WrestleMania, so we hope you guys enjoy WrestleMania as well, and we hope you enjoy our WrestleMania review series. We've got a WrestleMania 27 review coming up tomorrow on the Wednesday.
That'd be something to check out, people.
Yeah, it'll be a really long video, but we're going to basically go into a lot of detail about what we thought about the way they followed it on and stuff like that, and the matches that we got, and how much meaning it had, and how well built it was. It will basically be a long commentary on WrestleMania 27, so it should be interesting to watch, especially since we've lived the whole year afterwards, and we lived the build and everything, so it should be an interesting video to do, especially seeing as we did the WrestleMania 27 review, and we're going back to it again.
So it'll definitely be a difference, more detailed and opinionated WrestleMania review.
Indeed, and you do what you do, NJ.
Well, thank you very much, people. We've answered some questions that got us thinking. There's some questions that we want to know what your thoughts are, so please leave your answers in the comment section below. And until next time, people, keep the questions coming in, and goodbye.